Hi, I'm Patrick Hilgard. I'm an actor. I live in Los Angeles, and I thought it'd be interesting to start a YouTube channel to see if there was anybody out there who might be interested in this type of process. I'm going to start off just kind of free-flowing and moving around topics that I find interesting or that I think might be of interest to anyone watching. I completely uprooted my life in 2015, moved to LA, and became an actor. I just have to follow these impulses. I just absolutely have to. Otherwise, I feel like it is life or death. I don't know why. That's how important art feels to me. And so maybe there's elements in this channel that could encourage anybody with a dream that is outside of their current reality to just really live into the possibility that that is a reality that you deserve, that you belong to, that it belongs to you, and that there's a reason that it is calling you. It is not frivolous, it is not irresponsible. It is actually the most responsible thing to do, is to follow that inner call to create, to serve, to build, to connect, to, heal. And it's all the same, really. And we can get into the self-help talk, the therapy talk, the spiritual talk, whatever you guys want. Maybe there's more I could be doing. Maybe I get roasted on here, right? Maybe you guys think I suck. It's okay if you do. You'd be wrong, but it's fine. If there's any topics that you guys find elusive or that are interesting to you that you want to learn more about, that I could maybe give you some insight on, I'd love to do it. I don't pretend to know everything, but that's not what this is for. This is for anybody who cares to learn. Living the role of student. I think to some extent I'll always be a student. I will always be learning. I will always be curious. I will always be peeling back the next layer of my own becoming so I can live into that creative just life vision that I see for myself. And it's been so cool to see those things kind of flow into my life organically along the way. There's still so much more I want to do. I'm just feeling really pulled right now to just put myself out there. I do also have to voice my fear around, okay, can I still be considered a serious actor? And I think that that's a big reason that I have resisted creating content in the past, because I thought I want to show up as this blank slate. I want people to be able to project whatever character that they want onto me because I am an actor. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to put yourself out there in a way to where people will just see you first and not the character that you've inhabited and lived out. There are these elusive, incredible actors out there who don't even have Instagram. Do I want to be that person? Yeah. Is that the reality of my path? No. So here I am, stepping into that space and sharing authentically, and it's a little bit scary, to be honest. But even as I'm talking to the camera right now, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it, so maybe this is what I was supposed to be doing the whole time, or maybe all of my fears will prove to be accurate. We can't know. All we can do is move forward bravely and boldly and share authentically and be ourselves. So I want to encourage you to do the same. There are so many incredible people out here, and it's my goal to just kind of open up that world a little bit more and let people in to see that this work, it is not all vapid, it is not all vain. These are people who create because they are pulled to, because there is no other choice for them. This is our life mission. We dedicate ourselves and our process to the idea that it is that important to create art and bring it into the world. So maybe this channel isn't so much about acting. Maybe this channel is about creativity. Maybe this channel is for anybody who feels called to pursue something that is outside of their current reality, and hopefully just allow them to see that these things are doable and they are possible. There is a roadmap for every goal that you have in mind. But as the creative artist, it is up to you to create it. As an actor, as a creative, as an artist, we are continually choosing the next best idea, action, intention, activity. There is so much that goes into building a creative career. And maybe through this channel, what I can do is just share a little bit about my process, and hopefully that will illuminate something in yours. I have seen time and time again how artists putting their works into the world has inspired me, has encouraged me, has healed me, and has acted as the life fuel to my dreams. So I'm going to stop operating under the assumption that what I have to contribute is somehow of less value. I am stepping into this space vulnerably. I am sharing authentically. I absolutely love that for me. Something I would never have done a few years ago. Of course, you set an intention, you make an affirmation, you make a plan, and then that inner critic comes in to think, is this a good idea? Will anybody give a shit about this? It's possible that nobody will. Living out here, auditioning regularly, connecting, creating, self-starting, producing, writing, directing, acting, singing, like whatever it is. For some reason, it just makes me feel so alive. I welcome anybody in here who cares anything about that at all. If there's any topics anybody is curious to learn about, let me know. Maybe I'll make a video about it, or I'll figure out a way to work it in. But generally, I just really want to give you guys just a totally open type of just bird's eye view directly down into everything and anything that goes into this. All access to an extent. No nudity, unless it's for the right project. Hello. I'm about to pay two really expensive parking tickets that were not for parking. If they were parking, they aren't as expensive as these ones. This is very embarrassing. When I tell you I am a good driver with a spotless record up until this point, I was having a meeting with a casting director, Steven, a very good friend of mine. Steven, if you're watching, hi buddy. What was a place called? Granville. With my first time there, it was a beautiful spot, lovely energy, the food was delicious. And then I left and I was making a phone call, and I received some news that kind of like threw me about a content job that I had pitched that fell through. One of my side hustles is that I just create content for businesses where I can, and sometimes I'll just pitch myself. Anyway, so I was a little frazzled, and I was on my phone, and a cop pulled me over. I did tell him, I was like, thank you so much, honestly, for pulling me over. I think I kind of needed that. I know it's not cool to be on your phone while you're driving. I absolutely would not want to be responsible for causing anyone's accident or worse. I own every single part of my action in this moment, and I'm so thankful that it was this and not something worse. Also, this reminded me of a self-tape I did a few years ago. Don't text and drive. It's life. You only get one, and you have to live with your choices. Thank you for your compassion and your grace while I figure out my life. I'm so scared to see this. God, that is very expensive. $400 ticket. Not even kidding. I am an abundant being with infinite access to universal wealth, and money is constantly flowing. And even though right now money is like really not great, I just feel and know that it's gonna be okay. I just trust. I have too many irons in the fire. I am too consistent for things not to work out, and they always work out. Everyone out there who feels this understands what I mean. When life starts to happen, I almost get excited because I just think, it's an opportunity here to like really dig into the like minutia of just what it all means. That is like what gets me personally aroused. Switched on. Maybe learning that the inconsistencies of life are kind of always on the horizon, and like you got to kind of be ready for anything. Kind of have to be a risk taker to some extent in order to pursue a career like this, and follow a dream that you have no actual evidence is ever going to come true. Pull a career out of your ass, essentially. I'm kind of working with this emotional energy a lot just in my career. I really got to be able to have dialogue for my whole entire emotional process, and it has just set me so free, and it has completely changed my life, and it continues to change my life. I always want to come back to that language. I always want to see my life and my career and my relationships and my heart and my process through the lens of co-creation, like universal intelligence, understanding that as an artist, like, I'm just the vessel, man. I'm just here as the vessel. I would be egotistical to think that, like, somehow, like, my talent is literally knowing that I am the vessel. It's like my talent is just trusting that whatever's moving through me is creativity in action. And I think that's why it shows up in so many different ways in my life and other people's lives. It's like creativity is this all-encompassing, beautiful force. It's this frequency that you can tap into, that you can manifest. You can bring it in. You can channel it into being, into form. Everything you see in your life was a thought, was an inspired thought that was brought into this world. I don't really have an entrepreneurial mind. I think I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I definitely don't have a mind for math, science, organization, things like this. But when I think about people who do, who might reflect that they are not creative, I have to disagree, because I think that we cannot help but create. That's what I think. That's what I know to be true. The process of life unfolding is creation in action. So I was going to look into court dates and see if I have to pay these parking tickets, but I move forward doing that, knowing that what I'm about to do here is create some affirmations for myself. What I would love is for whoever is viewing this to just visualize what that would look like in your own life and how that fits for you. And feel free to come up with some of your own. Okay, here we go. I am an abundant, powerful creator, and my perception is my own. I own my perception of my own reality. It is mine to choose, mine to create, mine to co-create, and mine to shift, change, mold, evolve, swerve however I want, which is so exciting. See, that was fun. Thanks for being open to it. I've got money coming in. I've got jobs. I auditioned for something 2 days ago. I was so stoked about it. I might be moving to New Orleans in January if I book it. Like, that would be sick. Since the purpose of this channel is to give you guys a little bit of insight into my mind and my process, I think what I'm watching myself do here is trying to lean into the possibilities of the life that I envision. I have to kind of take inventory over and over and over with myself, take quiet note of my accomplishments along the way so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. It's these little seeds that you're planting inside of your mind that ultimately start becoming your belief system. And once your belief system begins to shift and begins to mold because you've fed it so many new experiences and insights and awarenesses and information and lessons, that as you continue to take inventory and you feel gratitude for the steps that you're making, you are puzzling together your life one decision, one inspired thought at a time. When I live in the possibility that everything could turn around tomorrow based on the work that I have already put in, you kind of move forward in the world feeling like, wow, I feel lighter. I feel ready to accept what is mine. And I also feel willing to let go of the outcome. If I don't move to New Orleans in January, maybe I move to Spain because I book a different role. You never, ever know what life has for you. And that is what keeps me curious. That's what keeps me peeling back new layers. That's what keeps me inspired. And like I said, that's what makes me aroused, bro. And help us see for each other that life can change in any moment. In any moment. In any moment, life can change. Here's a perfect example of how life can change in a moment. I was just about to pay my parking tickets when I thought, where's my wallet? I reached out to my friend Paige Wassel. She's a YouTuber. You guys might know her. I've known her since middle school. She's the best. We went on a hike yesterday in Topanga. I was like, did I leave my wallet in your car? And she texted me back a photo of my wallet and my AirPods. I'm learning to accept myself in all of my quirks. I don't want to feel the need to justify that I'm actually not this messy, quote unquote. But in this video alone, I've already described 2 different times that I had either lost or had to be issued a new credit card, which all we have in life is our name and our words. And I hope that this doesn't ruin my credibility. It's hard to let go of the insecurities around sharing who I am and how I am. I feel much more comfortable doing that under the protective mask that is story, character. I think I'm learning that it's all expression. Thoughts are creative. Words are the first frequency of creation. We create with the thoughts we think, we create with the words we speak, so it's important to be really intentional about how we choose those thoughts and choose those words, because those thoughts and those words are a reflection of your belief system and what you believe you deserve or don't deserve. And whatever you believe is what you will perceive, and therefore what you will receive. It's pretty cool when you see it from that perspective. And then you start to understand that you can choose your reality. You can choose to believe or not believe anything about yourself that you want. So let me zoom out here real quick and just observe myself in this moment. Today is Sunday. I'm thankful that today is Sunday because that means I have time to go get my wallet across town that I was so silly to have forgotten. I'm so human. I'm so human. And do I kind of wish that I could have completed this task without throwing a huge wrench in it? Maybe not, actually. Because as I said that, I'm also open to the awareness that I'm here. Life is happening to me. And so I just want to play with the possibilities because I'm creating my experience. So, no, actually, I don't wish that things were different than they are. Why would I do that? There are forces that are beyond me that are conspiring to support. Who am I to say? Meet life with an open heart, and maybe something wonderful happens today because of it that I would not have received had I not left my wallet in the car. You see what I'm saying? We have so much agency. We do. I think artists, I know actors, put such a great emphasis on the achievement, where they are, how they're doing, what they did last, their resume, like who they know, you know. There's this misunderstanding that we have to prove ourselves. That we have to show and tell people who we are so that they believe us enough to maybe give us a fucking job, man. But it's the quiet power, it's the introspective poet, it's the wise mountain in the middle of the storm. It's this presence, it's this power that you don't have to force. We don't have to force. It's just there. When we are forcing the outcome, we are interfering with fate, with an outcome that is far greater and actually far more in alignment with who you are and what you actually need. I don't think we need as much as we think we do. This Hollywood dream just normal people out here trying to get by and make cool fucking art with their friends. That's what it is. And we want to make an incredible living as a result of the art that we produce. Just like the finance bro wants to make a bunch of money on whatever trajectory that is. And so much respect, by the way. All right, I'm pulling up the pages. Say hi, Paige.
Hi, Paige.
I got the goods. I also didn't realize how much noise was happening on the camera, so I'm gonna keep the car content brief, especially while I'm driving. And it's not lost on me that I am currently committing the same crime that got me into this mess in the first place. So I'm gonna jump off, I'll see you in a second. And we're back. I wanna do a little sign off here. I do have a couple things I wanna cover before I actually wrap up the video, because I just think it'd be interesting to leave you guys with maybe a story of being in this business. I've been out here like 10 years now, so I've learned a lot, I've seen a lot. I've got more to learn, more to see. I'm trying to edit some of these videos to have some in the canon so that you guys can have some content to follow along with, like right from the jump. I want to be a movie star. I want to be a producer. I want to have my own production company, and I want to be making really cool films with people that inspire me. Artists whose voices just have to be heard. I want to find them. I want to foster them. I want to foster my own. And I want to just collaborate with people who just totally get exactly what I'm saying right now. And if you do, you do. And if you don't, I guess you don't. And that's okay too. I've seen YouTubers who've taken their channels and turned them into production companies. There's absolutely no reason that I and that you and that we and that they all don't deserve it too. That their voices don't have the same resonance as the others. And there is a lot of voices on the internet. How do we want to contribute? What is our legacy? It's about connection. It's about the impact that we make on the communities around us. When we heal ourselves, we heal the world around us. Artists heal themselves through their process, their creative process, through their art, and then that goes into the world and provides healing for others. And that's why it's so important to me. It is like my dying wish. It is my purpose. It is my service. It is my calling. And I suppose I'm stepping in. Let's fucking go. I'm putting on a different hat for the story about my first ever agent. Please know that on this channel, I will never be trashing anyone. I will never be airing any information that would harm any other individual. That is never, ever my intention. Because I don't want to bore you guys with the same exact bland color palette. I mean, I know it's just not the most vibrant color hat, but at least it's a little bit different. And also gives me a different look. You know, I don't want to get typecast. It's Hollywood, baby. My first agent. I guess I'll tell you how I got them. I want to keep the details a little bit muddy. There used to be this bookshop on Sunset called Samuel French. Me and all my actor friends would go down there and we'd read plays, and I have so many plays around here. Maybe we can do some content around that. Theater's fucking awesome. We'd all go down to Samuel French. We'd be down there for hours. And they had this book that was like all the agents at the time. This was pre-COVID, like 2015 or 16. And I wonder if it's over here. Hold on. I just moved, so all my stuff is like kind of out. Books, I mean. Well, I mean, everything's kind of everywhere. I have so many boxes. Oh my god, I thought this was it. Oh, I found it. You guys, I found it. No fucking way. Whoa. Actor's Guide to Agents. I found it. The Comprehensive Agent Guide from Samuel French. R.I.P. Samuel French is no longer around, unfortunately. Oh. My year's off. Wow. Honestly, what even happened before COVID? Does anyone even know? I certainly don't. What was I doing? So, I go through. You've got the name of the agency. You've got the address. You've got the telephone number, the fax number, the website, the email, fax number. What even is that? You got the departments and staff, owner. Yeah, you'd have like the owner of it if they wanted to be listed. And then you'd have like the theatrical or commercial representation. And so I guess for anybody out there who doesn't know, like theatrical representation handles like film and television, and then commercial handles commercial and print. I believe that's right. I don't work commercial, but I should work commercial. But quick sidebar. I guess I have so many stories I didn't realize. Back in Chicago, hold for siren. I was shopping agencies and I was booking like men's hair campaigns that were paying me quite a bit, which was pretty awesome. And I was working those pretty consistently. I had like long blonde hair, balayage. It was cool. Maybe I'll throw a photo up right here. Because my first ever job, I was walking through Northbrook Mall outside of Chicago, if anybody knows where that is. This woman approached me, Susan Ford, hair queen, Chicago, look her up. And it was a photo shoot. I got paid a bunch of money and I was actually pretty good at it. So I tried to go to modeling agencies in Chicago, but everywhere I went, they told me I was too short. Now, the fashion industry in Chicago is like this big. So you have to actually be a certain height and stature in order to fit the clothes because there's much less clothes and there's just much less opportunities. So there isn't really a market in Chicago, or there wasn't then. And I think I'm 5'10", 5'11". I don't even know. I feel like I've grown, but then I don't know. Some of the boots I wear make me taller. So I never thought I could model. Back to this. I went through here. I made note of every agency that had theatrical representation because that's what I wanted. My goal is to be in film and television. So I wanted to go through here and find every single agency that had theatrical representation. Depending on how much work you've done and whatever else, if they're even looking or they have open calls or whatever, like they would get back to you. And I went on so many open calls, and I also had so many people not answer too. I remember you'd have bounce backs because like a lot of the things, even though this was updated yearly back in the day, I don't know how they do it now, some of the agencies were like already out of business. So interesting to look back at this. Anyway, so the agent I went with, ultimately I had to audition for 3 different times. Felt great about that. I love auditioning. I love performing. I'm down to read for anyone, anytime. Give me a call. Like, let's go. This is what we do. Started with an open call. Bunch of people showed up. You're reading in front of the agents, but then you're also reading in front of actors who are in the queue, just waiting, like crowded around. This was a very small office and people were like stuffed inside. And then there were people spilling out into the alleyway because it was just like, fuck, there's so many people. It was so hot that day. But then you wanted to be inside enough so you could hear your number. What was it? Prepare like a scene or something. I could not for the life of you tell me what I prepared. In the second audition, I came back by myself and I walked in and they didn't hear me come in. They were upstairs in the loft, and just hearing this actor being ripped apart on the phone, knowing that that's my inevitable fate no matter what I end up doing, but also knowing that, like, okay, this is my first agent. Like, this will not be forever. Also, I'm just here to audition. Maybe it's just for the lore. Like, I don't know. I was just finding my bliss. I was just turning over stones. I was so young. I was just, like, gutsy, hungry. I'm going to deliver a performance, charm the pants off this because it's eat or be eaten. I really do believe that you place yourself like where you want to be. You have to hold yourself to those standards in your work and accept nothing less. That is my advice. And just understanding that what will be, what is for me, and what is for me is immaculate. What is for me is far greater than anything I'm currently seeing that is not mine, because it would have to be. And I can equally celebrate that too while I'm in that space of understanding that there is enough to go around. There is enough to go around when all ships, every ship. I butchered that saying. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. I hope you enjoyed this first kind of installment of whatever this is. and I really have had a lot of fun doing it. Let me know too if there's anything that you want to know about, or any topics that I should discuss or cover, or what else you'd want to see, I guess. If not, I will just carry on doing what I feel called to do, and I've got lots of ideas, so I will see you in the next episode.